Hey everybody, this is the other ceiling fan, or one of the other ceiling fans that I had left to test, that I mentioned in the last video of the spinner. But this here is, I believe, a Litex, although I'm not 100% sure, a footprint vent hugger 42 inch. It is model number EF600-42, and it is dated 1997. So, yeah, I'm not entirely sure of the manufacturer, but I'm pretty confident that it's a Litex because um, Litex made a lot of their fans with the footprint vents, um, and as well as with the pretzel blade arms. So, yeah, and it has other characteristics of Litex. Other brands that it could be would be Air Cool. They made footprint vent huggers, although theirs were more generic. Um, Murray Feist also made them in Concord, I think. Um, but yeah, those were a bit different. So I'm pretty sure this is a Litex one. Anyway, this one came from the salvage store actually at the same exact time as I got the spinner in my last video. I got them together. And this one was actually gotten for, not really for another collector, but somebody had commented on one of my uh, past videos of like the video tour of the salvage store, and they were interested in this one because they had seen it in the background, and I was like, well, if it's still there, the next time I guess I can get it because I was kind of interested as well, and turns out it had stayed there for months, and I don't think it was going anywhere, so I just said, okay, sure, I'll get it, and it was $9, so I think I did pretty well. I'm not really a huge like collector of these late 90s fans. Like I really like the older stuff typically, but these are somewhat childhood, these footprint vent huggers. One of my old neighbors in my old neighborhood, not next door, but I think two houses down from me in the court, they had, because their house was an exact mirror image of ours, if you remember, our split level. In their family room, where it would be, they had an addition that went like further back. So they had like the family room and then another room to the left of it would have been to the right in our house. But nonetheless, that's not important. The important part is they had two 52-inch white footprint vent huggers. Um, in like both of the main family room, and then I think it was like the laundry room in the back, or like some sort of like mud room or something. But there were two white footprint vent huggers, I do remember. One may have been like regular generic vents, but I do know at least one was a footprint vent. And I think it had, I think it was an air cool one because I think it had the regular crescent blade arms. Um, but it was a white footprint vent hugger, so I do remember that from my childhood. And then there was another place, a campground that we went to every fall with my aunt and my grandma and my cousins, and they had cabins there that you could rent, and there were, the cabins didn't have bathrooms in them, so they had like a bathhouse for each like campsite, and inside of each of the bathhouses there was couple, I think, of footprint vent huggers, kind of like this, but I think they were 52-inch. They were all rusted, they were in terrible condition, but I just remember going there every fall and seeing them, and I remember the blades being all droopy. So I don't know if they're still there. I haven't been there in years, but it would be nice to see that, check that out. I know the ones in my old neighbor's house had been replaced many years ago. They replaced them with Carriage House 2s, um, sometime in like the early 2010s. Anyway, long tangent there. This fan is a 42-inch size. It has an interesting motor that's kind of rounded on the top, like a Laguna almost, but like flat on the bottom. Um, the light kit is 4-socket, 4-fitter integrated into the fan. I have 4 halogen light bulbs in there. So, and the pull chain extensions there, those wooden pendants, did come with the fan, which was really nice. They match the fan. So there it is with the light kit on. And you can see these 4 light bulbs give off a lot of light. We adjust the exposure there, so that's a nice view of it with the light kit on. Yeah, very bright. I would want to have this on a dimmer or use lower wattage bulbs if I were to put this somewhere with this light kit. Okay, whoa, just knocked into something. Anyways, all right, light kit off. Make sure the exposure goes back to normal and turn the fan on high. Now you may notice that the blades are a little bit out of balance. That's because some of them are warped. That's from how they stored it at the salvage store. They like wrapped the blades together facing each other, so they kind of bent a little bit. I tried to unbend them, and I think I did an okay job. It doesn't wobble too bad, but there is a little bit of wobble. It's not terrible, honestly. And it doesn't, I noticed it doesn't go very fast on high speed, at least compared to most other fans. But it is moving a fairly decent amount of air, at least for what it is. I do notice those blades are very thin, so that definitely has that working against it. I bet some thicker blades would do it some good. But it's pretty quiet. It has a little bit of motor hum. The air movement is better when you're standing more outward, probably because of the light kit. I put those big globes on it. Those are not the globes that came with it, by the way. The globes that came with it were these sort of ribbed shades. I actually have another set of these that are on the Evergo remote GE vent right behind the camera there. But the reason why I didn't use those is because it only came with 3 of those. And I didn't feel like taking one off of the Evergo, so I just opted for some modern frosted shades. And I think they look pretty nice. Let's turn it down to medium. It does start to get a little bit noisier on the slower speeds. And of course, being that this is a smaller fan, it will have a pretty fast medium and low speed. And this is pretty fast. This is almost like medium high. It's still moving the air. Alright. Low speed. So it's a pretty fast low speed. Alright. Back to high. Spindown. I think this fan was installed in a kitchen, wherever it last lived, because it was either a kitchen or a porch, because it was absolutely filthy. And the inside of the motor and the inside of the motor housing are starting to rust a little bit. So that's why I say it might have been on a screened-in porch or something. It's not terribly, it's not super dirty. It still looks good enough. It's taking its time to spin down. Oh, almost there. Finally, there we go. That thing has really good bearings. Those are a lot better than I thought. I thought it was going to need some oil, actually, before I started recording the video. Yeah, that was insane. Jeez. Okay, now, find the reverse switch. There it is. And turn it to low in reverse. I'm looking about the same speed in reverse. Alright. Medium. About the same, if not a little faster. Seems like it's a bit quieter. High speed. Although there is almost no wobble in reverse, which is pretty interesting. Maybe it's shaking ever so slightly, but there's pretty much no noticeable wobble. That's pretty cool. All right. You guys an up-close personal view. So once you get up close, you can sort of see the bit of discoloration on the white parts. That's actually where the tag was from the store. Couldn't get all the residue off. I believe that the vent screen is supposed to be black, although from the inside it looks like it's almost been stained from like dust or something, but I think it is supposed to be black. Yeah, and you can see the blades are just a little bit, some of them are a little warped, or bent actually from how they stored them. This one's pretty bad. I think that's the worst. That one's kind of bad. That one's also pretty bad. And then they also got a little scratched up, but that's no big deal. The other side is wood finish. It's reversible to, I think that's like a bleached oak up there. But that's in okay condition. There's the light kit and where the pull chain comes out. And then here's the pull chain on that side. The reverse switch is right there. It's a white switch. And then the motor is completely unvented, which is kind of interesting. There's no vents on the bottom. And I'll try to show it to you through the top because I really want you to see. See, it's like a domed top portion, top end bell. No vents except for that one hole there, which is for pressure relief, I think, or heat relief. Filigree on the side. It's pretty generic other than the blade arms, honestly, and the vents. Blade arms being pretzel arms. But I think that these were called the Celeste, or was that might have been, was that the Litex model name? The Celeste or something like that? Or not the Crown, that was something else. But yeah, I'm not sure. But this is a neat one. I definitely like it. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to keep it or not, but I do like it. So, as always, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next video.